Shalom to all the viewers of Arutz Sheva, Dr. Hagi Ben-Artzi. We are now beginning a series describing the war of the Jewish people against the Roman Empire in the end of the Second Temple. After about 80 years of the Hasmonean kingdom, the last queen was Shalom Tzion, and in her time the Jewish people enjoyed prosperity. But after her death in the year 67 BCE, her two sons, Yochanan Horkanus II and Yehuda Aristobulus II, began fighting. They could not decide who should be the king of the Hasmonean kingdom. They fought for a period of about 4 years. Then the Roman army came to the Middle East. This was the beginning of the Roman conquest of the Middle East. Pompeius, the commander of the Roman army, was in Damascus, and the two brothers decided to go to Damascus in order to allow Pompeius to decide who should be the king. But as usual, when Jews are fighting with each other, the Jewish people is defeated. And this is exactly what happened. Pompeius understood that he could easily conquer the land of Israel, the Hasmonean kingdom, when the two rulers of the kingdom are fighting with each other. So he decided to give the priority to Yochanan Horkanus. Yehuda Aristobulus, he left Damascus and went back to Jerusalem. The Roman army with Pompeius, the commander, he came to Jerusalem. The Jewish army was here in the Temple Mount. We are just above the Temple Mount. The temple was in the center of the Temple Mount, exactly where the Dome of the Rock is standing now. And for several months, there was a war between the Roman army and the Jewish army, which was inside the Temple Mount. After several months, the Roman army succeeded to enter the Temple Mount, and a fierce battle took place on the Temple Mount. 12,000 Jewish soldiers were killed in one day. But in spite of the fact that the Jewish Hasmonean army was defeated, the Jewish people did not give up. The war with the Roman army, with the Roman Empire, continued. Yehuda Aristobulus succeeded to flee from Rome. His son Alexander also came back, and they organized the Jewish army and continued the war with the Roman Empire. Come with me to the Jordan Valley, Sartaba, and there we shall describe the continuation of the war of the Jewish people against the Roman Empire. Come with me. We are in the middle of a wilderness. These are the eastern slopes of the mountains of Samaria. The highest mountain in this wilderness is this mountain the mountain of Sartaba. In the time of the Second Temple, there was a fortress on top of this mountain called Alexandrion, after Alexander Yanai, one of the Hasmonean kings. And this fortress knew huge battles during the rebellion against the Roman Empire. We spoke about the conquest of Jerusalem by Pompeius, and the Hasmonean king Judah Aristobulus II, he was taken to prison in Rome, but he decided not to surrender, not to give up. He succeeded to flee from Rome, from the prison, came back to the land of Israel, and started to organize again the Hasmonean army. He brought his army to this fortress in the middle of the wilderness of Samaria. Probably he assumed that the Roman army would not be able to come to reach this fortress located on a high mountain in the middle of a wilderness. But the Roman army succeeded to arrange a siege around this fortress, and in the end conquered this fortress. And in the battle between the Roman army and the Jewish soldiers, 5,000 Jewish soldiers were killed. Judah Aristobulus did not surrender, and he took with him, about 1,000 warriors and succeeded to go to another fortress, Michvar, on the eastern side of the Dead Sea. And there again he fought against the Roman army, but he was defeated, and another 1,000 Jewish soldiers were killed. His son, Alexander, he also succeeded to flee from the prison in Rome and came to the land of Israel, again organized the remnants of the army and brought his soldiers again to this fortress. Again, because this is a high mountain surrounded by wilderness and by canyons. And again, the Roman army came and succeeded to defeat the Jewish army here. Alexander was again taken as a captive, but he succeeded to again run from his captivity and tried again to arrange the army and wage a second war against the Roman army. The last battle took place in the valley of Jezreel, Emek Israel, the valley of Jezreel, near Mount Tabor, and we shall tell about that battle in the valley of Jezreel later. So come with me to the northern part of Israel, to the valley of Jezreel, and there we shall tell about the last battle of Alexander. Come to me, come with me to Mount Tabor. Come with me. We are in Kfar Tavor. This is a Jewish settlement, Moshava, founded more than 100 years ago, near the Mount Tabor, in the middle of the valley of Jezreel, Emek Israel. Here we can see the mountain of Tabor between Afula and Tveria, Tiberias. Here in this place, near Har Tabor, took place one of the battles in the third rebellion of Alexander. We have been in Sartaba. Alexander, the son of Judah Aristobulus, he organized his army and went to war with the Roman army, but he was defeated in Sartaba, the valley, in the Jordan Valley. But he did not give up. He succeeded to organize again his army. This time, he succeeded to bring 30,000 soldiers, fighters, and he came to this mountain, to Tabor. Here, he located his army on the mountain, and the Roman army came to the valley of Jezreel here at the bottom of the mountain. Alexander, he attacked the Roman army, but after a long day of fighting with at least 10,000 Jewish soldiers, Jewish fighters who were killed, he was defeated. So this was the end of the third rebellion of Alexander. But the Jewish people did not give up. The youngest son of Judah Aristobulus, after about 15 years, he organized again the army, the Jewish army, and went to war with the Roman Empire. We shall tell about the rebellion of Matityahu Antigonus, the youngest son of Judah Aristobulus, in the next chapter. Come with me, and we shall tell about Judah Aristobulus, about Matityahu Antigonus, the last king of the Hasmonean dynasty. Come with me to the next chapter of the rebellion and the struggle of the Jewish people against the Roman Empire. Come with me.